Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning routine. It is Friday morning, November the 17th, 2017. This is episode number 220, and I'm so glad that you guys are here this morning. I hope that your week has been going fantastic. I hope that you just can look back at this week so far, because we still have Friday to enjoy, right? But I hope that you can look back and see positive progression in your life, in the things that you were hoping to do, and that you have moved a step forward in wherever it is that you're trying to go this week. I hope that this was a week where you can see that you'd made decisions to move forward. I was thinking about this a lot yesterday, and I was thinking about how so much of what we do in our day-to-day lives, not lives, right? But so much that we do to our day-to-day lives is around how we feel and not what we know we should do. And this isn't even like when we're told to do. This is when we have goals for ourselves and we want to do this and we want to achieve or move to this next place. And it's like, you know what? I just don't feel like doing that today. And we don't do it and it gets pushed off. I am probably the absolute worst person at doing that. The strange thing for me is that I'm always doing and thinking about so many things that the things that I want to do seem to get pushed away, and I still do things and learn things, but it's not the main things that I really want to do because I just have so much in my head that I want to learn about and try for the first time and just whatever. I'm just on overload and go. And so for me, I need to focus better. But I hope that your week has been going awesome and you are moving in a great direction and achieving things that you're hoping that you wanted to get done. So yesterday was a fantastic day. I did have to check my man card yesterday, though. I had a man card moment, and I was like, wow, holy cow, look at that sky. Hang on, time out, guys. We're going for a walk. Woo, look at this sky. Hang on. We got to go outside for this. It's probably freezing out. Oh, can you see it? Hang on. Oh, it's not coming in. Wait, there it is. Ooh, look at that. That is gorgeous right there. Oh. Anyways. All right, well, we saw the sky. I got excited. Sorry, I looked out the window. It is the brightest pink. It doesn't pick up well on here, but it is the brightest pink you ever saw. And it is amazing. So if you're awake in Pennsylvania, look outside the window and you'll see something awesome. But anyway, so back to the man card thing. Now my lighting is all messed up. But sorry, podcast guys. The sky outside this morning is bright pink, vibrant colors shooting in layers through the clouds as the sun is just coming up. And it is absolutely stunning outside. So, so my man card. I had to check my man card. So we had a project and we have a TV situation. We would like to get a TV for this new space that we have created. And so I'm looking at televisions and I'm a shopper, I'm a studier. I look at facts and information. And I took one of the TVs that we had, actually the one right here behind me that you see that I use in downstairs here. And I took it up into the new space there and looked at it. And I'm like, you know what, honey, what do you think about the size of this? Should we go bigger or should we stay that? And I had to check my man card because at one point I'm like, nah, we don't want to go too big because it would take away from the beautiful room. I'm like, wait a minute. What did I just think? Don't go bigger? What? It's like crazy. So of course you got to go bigger, right? But I don't know. So we'll see what we end up with. I'm just checking myself along the way. But anyways, so that was my my event yesterday, my man card moment. So I've got some stories for you here today. This first story is, I was just talking about this with somebody because it's a fascinating story of what they can do with technology today. It's amazing to me. These guys, well, let me see here. Let me just read this. I'm just going to read this because to try to explain it is not as good as how it was written in this article. So it's written as a kind of a story as it starts. The baby was still in diapers and the first blisters appeared, ballooning red and angry with his pale newborn skin. Soon they became a regular feature on the map of his body, along with deep creases in his face when he howled out in pain. A doctor told the parents his LAM3 gene had a glitch. His body wasn't making enough of a protein to anchor the outer layer of his skin to the inner ones. This is a real story, guys. This is a real condition. For 7 years, they kept the blisters at bay, but by the summer of 2015, the wounds were winning, and the boy had lost 60% of his skin. Now, this isn't why I'm telling you the story, but when you think that you're in the middle of hardship in life, and you're in the middle of a struggle, imagine yourself losing 60% of your skin, and it hurts all the time. And there was no way to fix it. Just imagine that. And that might help you see past the trouble that you might be in. Maybe. In June, the child arrived at the burn unit of the Ruhr University in Germany, hot with fever and septic with a strain of staph. His doctors began pumping him full of antibiotics and painkillers, bathing him in iodine, and dressing the wounds with ointments. Nothing worked. But there was only, and they thought he was going to pass away. There was only one thing left to try. This is where it gets amazing on modern technology. Listen to this. The doctor snipped out a tiny square of the boy's skin and shipped it to a laboratory in Italy. Scientists there used a virus to inject a functioning LAM3 gene into all the cells that made up that patch of skin, including some stem cells. Then they grew them and grew them and grew them until there was enough to seed onto 9 square feet of gauze and protein gel. They made a new skin. They grew a new skin. In October, the Italians sent the new skin back to Germany, and the boy's doctors carefully laid them onto the areas they'd scoured of any dead or infected flesh, first to his arms and legs. When another batch arrived in November, they did his chest and back. In January, they touched up any spots. 7.5 months after he was admitted, the boy walked out of the hospital doors wound-free. Today, the boy spends his free time playing soccer and bruising like a normal kid. His new skin has never seen a blister. Can you imagine such an amazing thing? Isn't that awesome? They grew a brand new skin for this young man, and now he is living a life of an average young guy, right? Isn't that awesome? Technology is amazing. We have been created with such brilliant minds. You know, if we put them to use, that's just not that, and all of us are capable of that kind of brilliance, you know, but that's amazing. Wow. So wanted to share that story with you. Very awesome. Next story, a lot more vainer and simpler, but it's still really cool. So listen. Breakfast at Tiffany's. We've all heard it, right? The movie, classic movie. It's actually on Netflix, I believe. I watched it probably 3 or 4 months ago. I hadn't seen it ever in my life, so I was like, I got to watch it. Great movie. I get it now, you know. But Breakfast at Tiffany's isn't just a big screen fantasy anymore. The New York-based Tiffany & Company, you know Tiffany, right? The jewelry company, has opened a restaurant at its flagship 5th Avenue location in Manhattan, and the menu does include breakfast, which means that you now truly can have breakfast at Tiffany's. The $29 breakfast selections include avocado toast and buttermilk waffle. Lunch is available for $39. Tea and finger sandwiches is available for $49. And there you go. So you can now have breakfast at Tiffany's and make it a moment to remember with the special someone, or go stag. What the heck? Why not? You're worth it, baby. All right. Last thing. This is for everyone, but this is even more for guys. This is a guy product, okay? This is amazing, all right? So get excited. Here we go. Wait, hang on. Oh, my coffee's getting cold so fast. All right, listen to this. At one time or another, every person in America has found themselves craving an unholy amount of ranch dressing, only to realize that the standard bottle is nowhere near big enough to satiate their hunger. Now, finally, the good people at Hidden Valley have unveiled the ultimate item. Am I building this up enough? I mean, is this dramatic? Are you feeling it? All right. Hidden Valley is now putting ranch dressing in a 5-liter keg. You can buy a 5-liter keg of Hidden Valley ranch dressing, my friends. Yes, the next barbecue or party that you go to, this is a must to bring with you. I don't know what people will do with it, but if you bring a 5-liter keg of ranch dressing, trust me, people are going to put it on anything they can, simply so they could say that they pulled ranch dressing out of a keg at that party. This is amazing. This is awesome. Each keg will cost you $50, but it's a small price to pay for something this outrageous. I agree. Hidden Valley has also compiled an entire collection of ranch-themed gifts, just so you know, including a sweatshirt that also says ranch, ranch-themed socks, and most shocking of all, a ranch fountain that sends waves of tasty cream cascading down a joyful holiday-themed tower. Come on, man. This is like amazing. The fountain costs $110. Very expensive, but hey, what do you want, man, right? So those are our stories for today. I hope you enjoyed those. Let's go check and see what's trending. The top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Number 1, Al Franken. Number 2, the Steelers football team. Number 3, the Celtics. Number 4, Tesla Motors. Number 5, restaurants. That's a pretty generic term. Number 6, Rampage game. Number 7, Sylvester Stallone. Number 8, The Star. Number 9, fentanyl. And number 10, tax reform, as the House has passed its version of the tax reform. Those are the top 10 most searched things yesterday on Google. Let's go check and see what our trending news is today. Top of the list of our trending news, Jose Altuve tops Aaron Judge for American League MVP award. After that, we have Pentagon retweets, then deletes post calling on Trump to resign. Then we have Judiciary Senators. Kushner was contacted about WikiLeaks Russia ahead of election. Then we have Westchester, Pennsylvania. Massive fire breaks out at a senior living community in Pennsylvania. Then we have the Keystone Pipeline. Keystone Pipeline leaks over 200,000 gallons of oil in South Dakota. Oh, man, that's not good. Then we have Moody's Investor Services. India's credit rating upgraded by Moody's in boost for Modi. Then we have Salvatore Rina? Mafia boss and mass murderer Rina dies in jail. Then we have Salvatore Mundi. Leonardo da Vinci Salvatore Mundi painting sells for $450 million. Yeah. Little Dr. Evil there. Yeah. Anyways, then we have George Bush. Woman accuses George Bush Sr. of groping her during 1992 campaign. Last but not least, Vietnam veteran keeps longtime promise to late fellow Marine. Sounds like an interesting story. Might have to go and check that one out. So all those news stories would be in Facebook on the right-hand side where it says trending news, and you can click on any of those if it sounded interesting to you and you wanted to know more about it. So there you have it. But let's move on, guys. How about a passage of wisdom today? Today's passage of wisdom. Now, this is, I can't tell you how many times these things happen. So, watching TV last night with my wife, she's watching a series, I don't know the name of it, but it's based on a church. And at one point during the show, one of the scenes was a message being given in the church, a little snippet, and I was like, that is powerful what that guy just said. That's amazing. Like, I want to remember that. Then this morning, I open up and I'm looking for a passage to share with you guys today, and the verse that comes is dead set right in the middle of the story that this guy told on the show that I was like, that is powerful. So I am going to share with you this verse, but then I am also going to share with you the story that it's part of, because the story is magnificent, especially for people who are in the middle of sorrow or a tough time. And I want to share that story because it's a great story of encouragement. So the passage for today, okay, is Matthew chapter 26, verse 41. Okay, this is the passage we're going to watch. This is Jesus talking to his disciples. Watch and pray so that you will not fall into temptation. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Now, that passage by itself is amazing, guys, because I can remember times in my life that still happen currently today where my mind is tempted, where it's by prideful thought, whether it's I'm angry at somebody, whatever it is, right? And all I can think of is I don't want to think about this, and I start to pray to try to push it out. And I have this mental fight, like I feel the mental fight where my mind wants to think about what it was just thinking about. I'm trying to pray to push that out, but it doesn't want to, and it's like, there's a war going on in my brain. I don't know if you guys can relate to that, okay? But watch and pray, because when you are praying, temptation will disappear. The spirit is willing to follow after the wisdom that God has given us, but the flesh is weak to temptation. Prayer will help push that out. That is a great tool to use. Now, the story that it's part of is amazing. This comes out of the story when the last night, when Jesus is with all his disciples, okay, and they go to the Garden of Gethsemane, right? And he's going to pray because he knows that's the last night. It's over. They've had the Last Supper. This is after that. He tells his closest group of people, the people that are there, the human beings that are there for him, to stay there, pray for him, stay awake. He's going to go over here and pray to God. He goes over, he comes back, and they're all asleep. They've abandoned him. He wakes them up. He's like, hey, stay with me. Stay with me and pray for me. And I'll go right over here. He goes over, he comes back. They're asleep again. And then it happens one more time. The third time he comes back and they've fallen asleep again. The point that the pastor in this TV show made, which I thought was powerful, was this. In your greatest times of sorrow and trouble. In fact, we're talking about greatest. In the middle of that passage, guys, there is a verse where Jesus says this out loud. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow to the point of death. Stay here and keep watch with me is what he says. That's how overwhelmed with sorrow he was. So if you're in that place, he was in that place, and the people he depended on the most abandoned him. And he was all alone. Why do I share this? That's not to depress you. If you're ever in a place where you're at the bottom of despair and abandonment and you feel all alone, the great news, guys, is as Jesus knows in this passage, is you are not alone, because God is always there for you, is always listening, loves you unconditionally all the time, is always there to wrap his arms around you. It may not be physical arms like you crave, but he's there for you in your worst moments, just like he was there as Jesus was talking with him, even though his closest friends and followers had abandoned him and fell asleep. You are never alone, and I just want you guys to know that. Let's pray, and let's get this day started. Father, good morning. Father, thank you so much for the passage of wisdom that you have given us today. Thank you for the show that you created, that my wife was watching last night, that planted the seed in my head last night, that maybe it's got me thinking about this, and the encouragement that you give us, that we are never alone. You're always there for us. You love us unconditionally, and in our deepest moments of sorrow, you're standing right there next to us. Side by side, you're holding our hand in comfort and in strength. Even when we feel like there's nobody there for us and we're isolated, we are not. You are there with us. What a blessing, and we thank you so much for that we get the chance to know that and experience it for sure. Father, I also thank you for the strength that you give us through prayer when we talk to you, and we're having moments of temptation as we try to correct our lives and move away from things that we know aren't the best for us and our families and would lead us into a path of great destruction. Thank you for the strength that you're there as we pray, and you can help us put those things out of our mind and move towards something of much more wisdom and much more peacefulness for our lives and our families and the people around us. Father, it's Friday today. It's the last day of a normal work week. We ask for you to give us the strength today as we go through the day to accomplish the things that we'd love to do, to push through the things that are distracting so that we can focus on the things that are most important. Father, we love you, and we are so blessed that you are there for us and have called us to be your children. We love you. Amen. And that, my friends, is a wrap. I am so glad, as always, that you guys were here. The show links, of course, will be at freedomconvo.com, morning show link. If you want to read any more about those articles, don't forget to like, subscribe, send a review on the podcast, I hope you guys have a magnificent weekend. And until Monday morning, guys, don't forget that today you get the opportunity to be exactly who you were meant to be. Enjoy that. I love you guys. Have a great day.